everyone, welcome back to another fabulous edition of Theater Talk at 3 o'clock. I've got my lovely guests here. You know him, you love them. How's it going?
It's been a while since I've been on Theater Talk, actually.
I know, it has been a little bit. So how's everything going?
It's going really well. We're at the end of the season. We're actually finishing this season off with a bang with a lot of great shows. The one this weekend, Prohibition Musical, is like going to be an awesome, fun show.
Yeah, I mean, just the name screams fun.
Right, especially with the tunnels of San Angelo and some of the Prohibition history that we have.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about it is, they've done a lot to make it historically accurate, but also a fun musical comedy that people can relate to.
That is awesome. Yeah, so let's just kind of start at the beginning, because you have not been on for a while. So let's remind people about the mission of Safe Packin' and what y'all do there.
So San Angelo Performing Arts Center is a nonprofit. We were established back in 2012 as a nonprofit, and then in 2016, 2017, that's when they renovated the Coca-Cola factory to be the Stevens Performing Arts Center, and then the Murphy Performance Hall, which used to be the Old City Auditorium. And our mission is to provide, state-of-the-art facilities to support local, national, and even international performance companies and touring organizations, so that way we can enrich the cultural experience here in San Angelo and really improve the quality of life for everyone, because it's a key component when you think about the things to do in San Angelo. One of the key things is having a performing arts center that is able to bring in national shows and really make an impact on the community while also serving the local arts organizations and schools.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all wear many hats over there. You do a lot of stuff all for enriching our community.
We do.
Well, okay, that is awesome. So, okay, let's get back to Prohibition.
Yes.
Musical, comedy.
Yes.
Fun, all in one show.
So the cool thing about this was they reached out to us. They got a grant to go on tour, and we said, it sounds like a wonderful opportunity for us to bring in a Texas-based artist and have them in San Angelo, and they're going to go from here to Mason, Texas, as well this weekend. So that's really cool.
How fun. So our show in San Angelo, it's going to be
at the Brooks and Bates Theater on Friday at 8:30, and we're going to have a whiskey tasting beforehand.
Wait, there's more.
What Prohibition musical would it be if we didn't have a whiskey tasting?
Exactly. Well, okay, folks, we actually have a special guest to tell us more about the musical. Let's check in with them. All right, everyone. Now we are joined by another special guest. John, thank you so much for being on the show today.
You bet. We're excited. We're excited to be coming out this weekend.
Yes, we are excited too. So let's just kind of start at the beginning. Tell us a little bit about yourself and Prohibition.
Okay, well, I'm John Cecil, and I run the group Texas Comedies, and we go all throughout all the different towns in Texas, and we put on historically based musical comedies. So we've got shows like Bonnie and Clyde. We've got a show called Boomtown about the oil boom. And this is one of our favorite shows. It's Prohibition, and it's about the battle between the wets and the dries.
I love it. So you were talking a little bit earlier. So San Angelo has kind of some ties to this.
Well, yeah, I was looking into it the other day, and I believe you have a Concho Avenue that used to have saloons and brothels. I don't know, maybe it still does. Does it still, or?
They've kind of phased a little bit of that out, yeah.
Okay, they've changed the names, I'm sure. Yeah. So up into like the early 1900s, up into to really 1918, these places were active in San Angelo and all around through this part of Texas and in Central Texas. And so this story is set about the fight between the people who ran these places, the people who thought that it was fine to drink, the people who were brewers, and a huge population of the German American population as well in Texas. And then it was going up against the whole movement to reform everything. And so these people were all about temperance, which was trying to stop people from drinking or even ban alcohol. And they also wanted a lot of other things, including to give women the right to vote. So it was a big package of things. And these two forces clashed together in 1918, coincidentally, just about the time that the U.S. entered World War I. So that's our story.
Wow, that is a lot. I was going to ask you, because you mentioned everything is historically accurate. Let's talk about the research that really goes into it and all the work that you have to do before the show even happens.
Oh yeah, well, so to do the research, we try to start off with like primary documents. So we try to find real people, real events, newspaper articles, and we found this character who was actually based right here in Travis County, who was a big advocate for trying to close everything down, and he went up against a whole lot of people who wanted to keep things open and keep brewing beer and keep some other things going. Now, so we try to use some of the real letters and some of the actual speeches. And before the show, we pass out these temperance invitations, like come to the temperance event, that are actually the real thing. So, I mean, we've reprinted them. So we try to mix that up a little bit with having the real stuff. Now, we also adapt it to where we're going. So we try to change some of the place names and do a bit of the research so that when we come to San Angelo, we talk a little bit more about what you guys were doing here.
That is amazing. So, okay, let's move now to this show. Like you were just talking about, local to San Angelo. I guess what would you tell people who may be coming to this show or deciding to come to this show? What can they expect?
Well, we've been talking a lot about the history and the background and everything. So it's a lot of fun to spot things that may have happened or did happen 100 years ago right here in this part of Texas. But this is also a musical comedy. So it is all about singing, dancing, and comedy. And we focus a lot on trying to make it a good time. And we've got some really good performers for this particular production that I've managed to recruit. And so you're going to see a lot of good stuff. Some people think, well, Prohibition, are they going to see some flappers? Because, well, they associate that with the Prohibition style. And I can just say, you very well might.
Oh, okay. It sounds like it's going to be a blast.
I think it's going to be a huge blast.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Do you have any final thoughts or messages you want to share?
Well, as you can see behind me, I have one of our props, which is a simulated beer barrel. And we're going to be bringing that out. We're going to be packing up in just a couple days and coming out there. And I can't wait to see everybody there in the audience.
Well, we have a crowd who can't wait to see you, I'm sure. John, thanks again so much.
Well, thank you. All right. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
That sounds like a ton of fun.
Yes.
Are you ready for it?
We're ready. We're always ready. This weekend, in fact, we've got the Prohibition musical. Then we'll have Deep in the Heart, which is a new movie documentary by Ben Masters about the rich wildlife that we have in Texas. It's his third documentary film.
Yeah, Central grad, right?
Yes. Local hometown, documentary filmmaker. That's quite a story too.
Yeah, he's done some amazing work. So people can go see that. They can go see more shows too, because y'all have a ton of stuff going on.
We do. Then on Monday we've got Outspoken Bean. He's the 5th poet laureate out of Houston.
Oh.
And he's going to do a spoken word workshop. It's free. We got 2 grants to support this.
Wow.
Shout out to HEB's and their community support grant, and also the other grant, the Moody grant.
Oh, okay.
So we try to have an offering for everybody, free events, paid events, and a diverse array of different types of events.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we'll have the spoken word workshop. It's open for 7th through 12th graders primarily. We'll have a pizza lunch, and then he'll do a performance afterwards.
How fun! That sounds like a blast. And then there's still more.
Yeah, there's still more. We got a White Rose of Tejas. So Dr. Gigi Langley, who works at Art in Uncommon Places, she has a PhD in theater, and she wrote this play about Selena's impact in Texas and the Southwest. And she put it on at the University of Houston in Clear Lake, or Clearwater. And those same students that put it on are going to come to San Angelo to perform it in the Owl Black Box Theater. And then from here, they'll go to Abilene, which is a really cool experience for those students because they get to take a show on the road.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, these are students, like you said, they've done their research. They're in the thick of it.
Yes, into the thick of it.
Yeah.
All the TikTok fans
I was
out there
about to
know.
say TikTok reference. Perfect. Okay, so we got to get to this upcoming season because you were talking about diverse shows. I mean, that's a pretty diverse lineup right
Right,
there.
and we do have one more that's not on this list.
Oh,
Yes, that's what I'm here for today.
Yeah.
Talk about the Innovator Center Stage Breakfast.
Yes.
Featuring Andy Carter. He's a magnanimous man and speaker, and you're going to want to come and hear about where the rubber meets the road. His speech is going to be talking about overcoming challenges as a parent, as an employee, as an employer. There's going to be ways to enrich your community by involving your business on a deeper level and just really getting into the thick and the meat of ways that you can turn a mustard seed into this wonderful big community and project and enjoyment, and just not hearing the word no when it comes to so many people. They just want to stop your dreams where they
Yeah.
are. Maybe they don't have the capacity to fulfill it, but Andy was just, no, we're going to do this. And this breakfast is sponsored by ML Eddies. And so that's where he cut his teeth. He was making saddles. And they have a wonderful story about Andy, who he could just like lean on the counter and sell a saddle.
Yeah.
And I've known Andy since we were toddlers, and he's a really great guy. So you're not going to want to miss come and support something new in our community. It's a breakfast. It's on Friday, June 24th. 8 in the morning. We're gonna have burritos by the wonderful Mr. T's Deli. So it's just gonna be a fantastic time to come and see. And then in July we'll have another one. We'll come talk about that one soon. But
Yes.
it's with Leanne Callahan, and
Oh my
she's an
goodness.
amazing person, business person, mother, go-getter. So we've got some great things coming up. So come and support on that level, because we want to keep bringing new things to San Angelo, and the only way we're able to do that is if it's supported.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
come on.
You don't want to be one of those naysayers. We call them haters. Don't be a hater.
Well, so like other cool thing about Andy Carter's background is he just is coming off of being the general manager at the
Yeah.
Texas Motorplex, where speed was invented here,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And he was also vice president of championship bull riding. So there's really a great opportunity to learn about how do you lead a high performance team to put on, these just extreme events to make sure that you get the audience engaged and grow the audience really.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's a way to show how to make an impact on your community. And he's, like Michelle said, he is from San Angelo.
Yes, financial, that's right. And also how to morph your dreams and keep them turning a profit and keep them turning it into something new. Day after he has breakfast with us, he meets with the Discovery Channel. He's
Oh
going
my
to be
goodness.
doing some new shows and things like that. So please don't miss Andy.
Yeah.
You'll love it.
That is phenomenal. Sounds motivational, inspirational, positive.
Yes.
Wow. That is amazing.
Lots
That's
of things
amazing.
going on.
Lots of things going on.
Yeah. So the upcoming season.
Yes. I think people have already gotten a lot of the press releases of the upcoming season. I've seen a lot of information on Steve-O. He'll be here
Yes.
on
Steve-O, I know.
4th of
Breaking news.
August. Then we've got, for our season, we're opening with Chad Prather, and he'll be opening actually the week following Steve-O.
Oh, okay.
And that'll be followed by Lori Morgan. She'll be coming through. And then Travis Tritt will be in San Angelo, which is, really awesome for us because he's doing a new tour.
Oh, okay.
And so right now, our new season is really shaping up to be music focused. We will still have some big shows, but we're broadening the scope of the entertainment we're able to provide.
Wow. Yeah.
Even Chad's will have a musical element. He's bringing along the Ragamuffin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so there's songs in there that you want to, how did I not ever make a song myself about this comedy? So he's great, and he has a huge following with teachers, so teachers don't miss Chad, and a lot of professionals, not just teachers.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
but
he's going to be like,
it's good for teachers because it's still during the summer vacation.
Yeah,
that's right.
exactly.
That's right. And we do like to entertain our teachers. So
Yes. They're the backbone for sure.
you bet.
Yeah, so this season is going to be shaping up to be a really awesome season.
Yeah.
We just got done, I would say, with our last big show, Scooby-Doo last week, and when I look back at the year, I'm coming up on my own year with SAPAC in June. We've had like 19 school concerts.
Wow.
We've had 9 of our SAPAC Present shows, plus additional rentals with Rob Schneider and Roddy Carrington.
Yeah.
So I'm just amazed at the amount of work we accomplished coming out of COVID and getting back to normal operations.
Yeah.
And the progressive way that it's taking place is so encouraging, because we're just here for community enrichment.
Mhm.
We want to keep people coming back to SAPAC in that, in that arena to learn new things, to entertain their family, not have to drive a million miles, which we cover every time, but it's getting more and more imminent,
Yeah.
the threat that we, can't go and entertain our family long distance. So we feel the pressure to entertain our families right here.
Yeah.
Except Steve-O. Please don't bring your
No children. No children at the Steve-O show.
We rarely have to say that.
But another cool thing is like today actually we have House of Faith. They have a movie matinee and
Yeah.
evening, and we're able to do that because we have a movie license. We can use our Brooklyn-based theater for private movie showings.
Wow.
And we're working on creating this West Texas Film Society Club too, to try to inculcate a desire and passion for filmmaking, especially as the Revolution Film Festival is scheduled to happen again in our spaces in September and end of September, beginning of October.
Yeah.
And you've probably seen ads about that from the Destination Marketing Organization.
Yeah.
So a lot of things going on.
I was about to say, my mind is blown right now because we have talked about so many things. And of course, you can go to their website and find all this information too and get your tickets. But you want people to come see you to get their tickets.
Yes. Well, no, so like it's always the secret
The secret.
to saving money at SAPAC is buy your tickets in person.
Okay.
You always save 10% off the internet convenience fee. And that's a great way to get access. You can also volunteer. We're always looking for volunteers. That's a great way to attend a show and see it for free. Or look out for special deals. So there's always special deals that we'll post on Facebook. So, like our page. We're like 6,000. I hope to get to 7,000 by the end of this year. Because we share a lot of information out on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
I know y'all are all over the place.
We
All
try
the
to be.
socials.
We try to be, except Twitter. I can't get into Twitter.
Me neither. It's okay. We'll skip Twitter. Yeah. How about that? Okay. Sounds good. But somebody we don't want to skip is a new face there.
Yes.
Movie theater.
And since we're at the end of our 2021-22 season, we're starting our 22-23 season, and with that comes membership drives and opportunities to sponsor the new season. One of the challenges being a nonprofit performing arts center is you always have to fundraise on top of presenting a show. It just helps cover operating costs and also the expenses associated with each show, because it can be quite a lot. You'd be surprised based on freelance personnel that we have to hire for the show and advertising and just keeping the lights on for the Murphy and the Stevens Performing Arts Center and making sure that we have quality space, updated equipment, well-maintained equipment for every show that comes in. So we're always looking for seasoned sponsors. And Michelle is part of my development marketing team, and she'll be reaching out to folks to find different ways to help sponsor the season and make sure that we can continue bringing in the best shows possible.
To build an experience, it takes the funds, and we're really, if I can make a plea, we really need impact investors, people who are excited about San Angelo, the growth in San Angelo, and want to see our arts community, visual, theater, film, those music, those things continue to grow because we're a great vehicle for those, and that's a way to grow. So ways that you can support us: membership, you can donate, you can sponsor a show. These things are just vital to the vibrancy of our institution. Really is. I mean, that's what we have in mind, is to come at you with ways to enrich our community. And that takes funds. So we would love to partner with people, and we have some great partners in place. And we're going to dedicate a show just to coming to talk about our sponsors, because that's really important to us. So.
And if you want us to help try to bring in an act, we're always game for that as well. I know.
You can make requests, folks.
What about
an event? We have the facility and these great venues to facilitate. You can bring in your own event. You can launch a product.
Wow,
All types of things that you can do. Have your, community or organization.
The possibilities are endless.
They are, because like the Malpas brothers are on our schedule because a fan reached out and said, "Hey,
It's true.
the Malpas brothers are a big hit in Texas. Can you bring them to San Angelo?" We said, "We'll look into it." And we have another fan on Facebook who wants us to bring in Abby Kaplan, who used to be with Pentatonics, and we said, "We'll look into it." And it's all about making sure that we are on a tour schedule. Maybe they're coming through Texas. There's a lot of factors that play into it, but it's like we're always trying to find ways to connect with community. And if you have a great idea, we're game. We're always
They
game.
listen to you, folks. They listen.
We try.
That is that is amazing. Well, yeah. So, okay, get a hold of them. Definitely send in your requests. Send in your memberships, sponsorships, all of it. They can help you out with that, folks. But now we're gonna introduce. Yeah, we're gonna do a little set change here, a little hot change. Bringing this beauty right here, Miss Sydney Timmer. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so glad to be here today.
Good. We're glad to have you. So let's just start at the beginning. Introduce yourself. Tell us what you're doing.
Absolutely. So my name is Sydney Timmer. I'm actually the new artistic director of B Theater. This started right in the beginning of May, and so we just hit the ground running. So we're already in a show.
Yeah, I was about to say, y'all just don't stop running.
Never, never, ever, ever. No, we had this last weekend. We opened 12th night.
Yeah.
This is our 9th production for Shakespeare on the Concho. And so we're just kicking it off with a comedy. 12th night is one of Shakespeare's a little less known, but I think one of his best. It's one of my favorites. It's funny. It's witty. There's a lot being thrown at you, but it's a great time.
Yeah.
And you have two of the actors right here.
You do?
I know. I was about to say we're joined by the cast. That's amazing. So people still have another chance to see it.
Yes, so there are 3 more chances. Thursday we come back. We start up again, so we have a Thursday show, a Friday, and Saturday, all at 7:30. Tickets are available on our website, and they can also just show up at the door. That's fine. We'll take you. We'll let you in.
That is awesome. So B Theater, it is also about community involvement. So let's talk a little bit about that. How people can get involved.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're always looking for actors, technicians, designers. If you're interested in even directing, we'll work with you to get you there. We are so happy to have people from all walks of life. This show, even that we're doing, 12th night, we have actors from age 12 to over 60.
Wow.
So it is a definitely a community effort. There's so many great viewpoints, and you're learning from everybody. And of course, always just talk to us. We're on Facebook, Instagram, send us a message, let us know what you're interested in. Come see the show and grab me afterwards. We'll talk about what you're interested in. And there's so many other things that comes along with running a theater that maybe you're not the most creative person, or you have stage fright, but you want to help in some way. You can help us bartend. You can help us write grants. You can help us with shooting videos. It is whatever, we are always open to expanding.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of avenues that we have yet to explore that I'm really excited about moving forward.
That is exciting. That is exciting. So yeah, you mentioned moving forward. Tell us a little bit about what's next.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this season, there have been a lot of changes, myself included. I am not Elaine McKint, who founded B Theater and has nurtured it to be what it is today. So I'm very, very excited and honored that I am trusted to help take care of her baby.
Yeah.
So moving forward, this season is a little bit a little smaller because we are building up. I'm not the only person that's new. We have a new technical director. We have a new production manager. So we are taking baby steps, but we're already making plans for the next season. So this year we are doing Bad Improv, which is B After Dark. So any of those adults, if you're looking for a date night, a night with the girls, the boys, whatever, we're going to do 2 shows a month. It's a Friday and Saturday performance.
Okay.
So we have 8 amazing teams that's so talented, and they are always thinking of new games and new activities. It's an amazing show. So they will do that every month, 2 nights, and then we are also doing it's called Bootleg Classics.
Oh.
Yes, so this is a new spin kind of on some of our, like Shakespeare on the Concho gets a little crazy. So in the fall, we are actually going to be doing 3 small kind of condensed versions of some classics, maybe some Shakespeare, and some other older ones. But the actors get cast 30 days before the show. They get their lines, and then a month later, they just show up and do it.
Wow.
So it is going to be extremely entertaining. I'm very excited to see the prospects. I know we've been talking about shows already that we're going to kind of make our own spin, and it's going to be a really fun night.
That sounds phenomenal and like a ton of fun.
It is. It's going to be great. And if you are looking to maybe step into and see kind of what we're about, I think that would be a great starting point.
Most definitely.
Yes.
Most definitely. Well, wow. golly, Sydney, thanks for all the info. There's a lot going on over there.
Yes.
Ton of stuff.
Mhm.
And we covered quite a bit, folks, quite a bit. So again, you can go to their website for all this information and have it there in front of you. Yuki, you got any final thoughts or messages?
I think we are so blessed in San Angelo to have a vibrant ecosystem of
Yeah.
performing arts. You have, if you have children that you want to get into theater, there's opportunities at B Theater, San Angelo Broadway Academy, even Angelo Civic Theater. And then, the high school has a great program. Angelo State University has a great program. So what I've seen just in the past year is a wonderful shared effort to promote the arts. And because it is a small community, we have to rely on each other to get things done. And when one of our actors, in fact, for Twelfth Night, she is acting as a primary role in our play, but also costuming for Camelot at
gee.
Angelo Civic Theater. So it's the people in this community work really hard to put on the best performance, and I think that is truly a treasure to have. That we have that here in San Angelo. We have these people that are dedicated to making this community the best that it can be.
Yeah, most definitely. Oh, wow. Thank you. That was a great final thought. I can't top that, folks. So thanks y'all so much for joining me, and thank you all for watching. We will see you next time on Theater Talk at 3 o'clock. Have a great day.